Hello guys, today I want to share with you about some information of studying English in Cambodia. Actually, learning English for Cambodians is not a big deal, but most people find it difficult because they try to use the old what we call grammar translation, and it's not good. And grammar translation is used for years ago. It's like 1900 something, 1800 or something. And what we should follow is now CLT, communication language teaching. It's about the real practice. Is like you make a role play, you make sentences, you create your own sentences. With CLT, it's more about communicating between people, and the teachers don't play really important role because teachers just facilitates everything, and teachers just guide the students, and they do things by themselves. In CLT, we have role play, we have acting, and real practice. And it's like, for example, the homework, the teachers ask students to go to a resort or the place where we can find a lot of foreigners, and ask them questions. It's something like that. Or teachers make an appointment with the market, with the shop's owner that speak English, and they go and they go with their students and ask them questions, and pretend to buy things. And it's like my teachers, because most of the time I did not spend much time with whiteboard and markers. I just go to the shops like Soria Mall or Savanna Mall, and then we practiced with our teachers, and we ask questions. We ask about his life, we ask about his family and his things. We do not focus too much on grammar. Actually, we also learn grammar at the same time, because we assume the language, and the language comes into our head directly. So in my mind, learning a language is about communication. It's not about grammar, because grammar is only for the people, for the students who want to be teachers. But for those who don't, for those who just want to use English in their real life, we should not focus too much on grammar. But for Cambodian case, I think audiolingual is also important, but they don't just listen and complete the sentences and write a true or false, but they also need to follow by repeating, like repeat again and again, so that they can hear the sounds, they can make good pronunciation, they can also they can also speak at the same time, because they repeat and their mouths work, and their brain also works at the same time. Because like if you don't open your mouth and you just listen, it spends times, and it's not good for learners. So in my classes, I usually ask my students to repeat after the audio. And one more thing, because I'm not a native speaker, even though I've been with foreigners for years, but I usually make mistakes. So in terms of make mistakes in terms of pronunciation, in terms of grammar. So I usually play the audio, and then the students repeat, Yeah, in even though CLT, like communication language teaching, is important, but um, grammar translation is important sometimes. Like you also need to use it, like sometimes, like not most of the time, like tons and tons of grammar. For students, they cannot catch it, and I'm sure they don't use it in the future. So like we can use it like for some time. It's like if we compare, like the percentage is about 10%, and then um a CLT, sorry, GTM, grammar translation, 10%, communication, something like 80%, and then audiolingual like 10%. So CLT is the most important for nowadays learning, because some teachers, they teach you how um, to speak like within 6 months, and it's really interesting topic, because interesting things, because it works, and it helps students to be able to track their um, studying. They don't give up, because if they spend like more than 3 years, they are going to leave English classes, because how can you like bear with things that you don't make any achievement? Yeah, so things works if you understand everything clearly, and especially the message for teachers, please try your best. I know CLT is very difficult to do it, but you can also ask students like to work in pair, to work in group, and listen to the audio. If you don't have enough budget to make like a market or something that I have just mentioned, um, you can use something that you have, but make sure that the student speaks, the student acts most of the time. Not, it's like student center, not teacher center. You don't just go and lecture something like if you talk like this, because if you just talk, students just listen, and they listen from one ear and it comes out to another ear. So it's very important, so to let the students speak. But for example, ask students to read, it's not a good thing to do, because you can do it after you play the audio, because if a student make bad pronunciation, uh, many other students will follow them, and it's not good. Even the teachers, because the teachers can also make mistakes, but the audio don't make mistakes. Like they rarely make mistakes, because it's like a things that has uh, uh, been preparing very well. So in conclusion, like communication is the best, because students can learn, and even though they don't pass the national exam, because I know the national exam is a bit awkward, because it's all about grammar. For example, like you ask the students to complete the sentences using was, were, or am, is, are. It doesn't make any sense, because you just for my students, I just ask them to memorize it for like 2 weeks, and they know everything. But instead of ask the students to complete the sentences, we ask the students to make sentences, because like you can see the difference between poor students and um, smart students, because smart students, they use am, is, are, but they use they use am, is, are in a higher level of sentences. But for poor students, they also use am is are, but they use in their level. So it's really important to make the assessment, to make the test, because it helps students. And I'm sure if you ask the students to make sentences, they all get like full score or something like almost full, but not full but full, because as I've just mentioned, you make it, and you use your own ability to create the sentences, not something very difficult. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope that you can hit the subscribe button so that I can share more idea about English in Cambodia, English for Cambodian. I'm sure that it's for the Cambodian students and teachers, not for the foreigners, because I know my level is not like the top, but I'm trying my best to share, because I'm also in the education like spot. Thanks for watching, and if you don't understand, please hit the three dots, and then you can turn on the subtitle, like the caption. Turn on the caption into English so that you can see the captions, because I'm sure that sometimes I speak a little fast, and I know my pronunciation is a bit different from you guys, from you guys, because I don't like to make Cambodian sounds, even though I'm a Cambodian, because foreigners don't understand me, and it's not a proper English if I speak like I sing instead of I think. Yeah, so it's I'm gonna make like more videos about like the difference between the Cambodian speakers and American speakers, because it's all about grammar, about pronunciation, and it's really important for you guys to be able to understand, to be able to make other people understand you. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.